Being able to watch my son play basketball, I've kind of dreamt about it.
Gene Wolfe is a proud parent watching his son Uriah compete for the first time in the BC Junior All-Native Basketball Tournament, held this year in Terrace, with more than 90 teams competing. It's Indigenous March Madness. It goes back to the 1940s, when an all First Nations competition started for adults who first learned to play the game in residential school.
33 years now they've been running the all-native basketball tournament up here in Prince Rupert.
That tournament was always in Prince Rupert, and still is. A few decades after that, the junior tournament started, and it rotates around the province. This year, it's in the north. For Gene, though, there was nothing like this when he was growing up. His gyms were the cement courts of East Van, an escape from poverty and destitution.
I'm an urban native, right? So I grew up in the streets of East Vancouver. I never really knew who I was. I didn't even know Junior All-Native existed. When I was his age, up until about 14 years old, I played street ball. I didn't have gym time. So I just trained and played at the park. Carnegie Hall and Oppenheimer Park. This place right here was actually the starting point where I started to really transform as a basketball player. Sometimes skipping school and I'd come practice because the gym was always open before, right?
Gene eventually met other Indigenous players who connected him with his people. Many played in the Indigenous tournament circuit.
Because I started getting involved in the native basketball circuit, you know, across BC, across Canada, and also a lot in the States too. So I started finding my identity as an Indigenous person because of basketball.
Sarah Hodamani found her way to an urban Indigenous team made up of players from many nations who all shared a love of basketball and pride in being Indigenous.
Most people have a hometown to play for if you're from British Columbia, whereas Vancouver, playing for an urban team, is the only team that I've ever been able to play for. A lot of teams at Junior All-Native are what we would call village teams, so they all play for the same reserve or same village. They're all connected, family, cousins, sisters, that kind of stuff, but ours come from all over. So we have some Tsimshian, Newhall, Anishinaabe, Nakota, girls and boys from everywhere.
Sarah played in the Junior All-Native as a teen. Now, she's a mom and coaches teen girls, playing in that same tournament.
The rain!
She expects to be part of it for many years to come, and still remembers her first tournament.
And I kind of realized how impactful it was for everybody, and it just created this whole community for not only just the girls, but the boys' teams as well, and their families and parents.
Gene didn't know his culture, or even his people, when he was his son's age. Uriah is learning how to play the game while also connecting with his community and what it is to be Indigenous.
Indigenous peoples, we have a very tight kinship to basketball. When there was a lot of different laws, policies and stuff that didn't allow us to practice our own traditions publicly, we utilized basketball so that we can still connect, still battle amongst our nations, and more importantly, bringing us together, right?
I really think it just creates this community, this safe place for Indigenous youth in the city, which you don't find very often.
Well, even though it's just basketball and I'm playing basketball, but it was like a home. It's vital. It's not just a basketball tournament, you know.
Players are from First Nations villages and urban centers that dot the BC landscape. Today, Gene's son Uriah is entering a basketball world that has Indigenous culture and pride tightly woven in it.
I never got to play in Junior All-Native, so it's bittersweet to see him get the opportunity. You can't really push it too much because I don't want to be that father that kills his spirit for basketball because I pressure him too much. He's inspiring to me because of how hard he works, even though he's only 10 years old, right?
What do you like most about ball?
That I could play with my friends, my team winning, and seeing my aunts. And
Your dad's up there? What do you think about when you watch your dad play?
that he's really good. I hope I beat him.
Hope you beat your dad? I don't know, what do you think, Gene?
I think he's going to be better than me. I think he's going to be bigger than me and taller than me. He's definitely going to be more healthier than me at going through his teens because I feed him really well. I hope he beats me. Yeah, I have no problem with that. It's very important for me to see him connect with his Indigenous roots because it helped build who I am so that I can provide opportunities for him. What wins games?
Defense.
He's got it.
Wawmeesh Hamilton, CBC News, Vancouver.